Hi and welcome back to our Dreamweaver tutorial. In this video we're going to learn about templates in Dreamweaver. We're going to learn what templates are, we're going to talk about how to create them, and then how to use them. Now at this point in our project you should have your basic prototype page set up. We haven't added any of the special features that we're going to add later on to our page, like the fading banner here or the drop-down menus. But we have a page that has the basic formatting and layout that we're going to want to use for all of our pages in our site. Now, what a template is it's basically just a model page that you can apply to other pages in your site. So instead of having to create every page from scratch, what you do is you just create the file and then you apply the template to that file. Now, using templates has a lot of limitations, but it also has a lot of benefits. And there are a number of different ways that different websites work with templates. Expression Web, another popular program, has one way of working with templates. Dreamweaver has another. If you learn a language called PHP, PHP has a way of working with templates. But in Dreamweaver, our template is basically just our simple model page. And it has all of the common elements that we're going to want on each one of the pages in our website. Now, later on, we're going to create additional templates. And you can, in Dreamweaver, create as many different templates as you have page layouts that you want to create for your site. But for right now, our template, basically, we've laid it out so that it has our logo and our social media information, our top navigation, and our banner. And those elements are going to be common to every page in our site. We also have a right-hand sidebar. And again, that right-hand sidebar is going to be the same on every page in our site. And then finally, coming down here to the very bottom, we have our footer area, which again is going to be common to all the pages in our site. And the same thing goes for the background that's right here. These areas that are common to all the pages in your website, or I should say all the pages that are going to use this template, are called template regions. They're regions that follow your template. The other kind of region that you can have inside of a template is an editable region. And an editable region contains the area on the page that's going to contain the unique content for that page. So while our banner and our menu and other elements are going to remain the same on every page, when we talk about this content area here, this content area is going to change for every page. So that would be an example of an editable region. Let's take a look at the completed project here at manchestertemplate.info. And again, you can see I'm on my welcome page here. You can see the way the top of this looks, my sidebar with my Twitter feed, my footer here. And then you can also see the content area right here. When I click on the About page, this content changes here. But the top area, the banner, the navigation, the right-hand sidebar, going down a little bit lower here, the footer, that remain the same. And the same thing is true on our products page, our services pages. These areas are going to be the same on every page. This sidebar is going to be the same on every page. Footer, same thing. It's this content area here that changes. So these are template regions, and this is an editable region. Now, once you create your template, it's going to assume that the entire template is a template region until you put editable regions in. And we'll see how to do that as soon as we see how to actually create the template, which is relatively simple. I'm going to come back in here to Dreamweaver, and I'm in my main.html page. And I just want to go to the File menu right now, and you'll see the option that says Save as Template. So I'm going to select that, and all I have to do is give the template a name. I could also give it a description if I wanted to. But I'm just going to call this is the main template for the site. And again, you can have as many templates as you want in your site. It just depends on the number of different layouts that you want to work with. For example, if you have some large sections on your website and you want the different areas of the different sections of the website, some of them to have different banner images, or if you have different sidebars for different areas in your site, you could create additional templates that would accommodate that different design. So coming back into Dreamweaver, I've named it Main. You can call it whatever you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Save. If you get this dialog box that asks you to update your links, you're going to go ahead and click Yes here. And I'm looking at this in code view, and I want you to notice here the link to my style sheet is going to change just a little bit. I'll click Yes there, and sure enough, the link to the style sheet has changed. And it did that because this file is no longer main.html. It's no longer this page right here. It's actually called main.dwt in the templates folder. If you don't see your templates folder, just click the refresh button here really quick, and you should see it appear as soon as you save your first template. So we have our main DWT template. A lot of people think DWT stands for Dreamweaver template. It actually stands for Dynamic Web Template. And you'll see DWT files in a variety of different web design applications like Microsoft Expression Web or Front Page or Visual. Actually, I'm sorry, Front Page didn't use DWT files, but Visual Studio can use DWT files. So we now have a new file called main.dwt. And I want you to notice here it's also added some code where we have a begin editable and then a name, doc type, or doc title. And then we have the document title. And then we have another tag that says template end editable. So this is an editable area in the template. It's an area that you can customize. Coming down here a little bit further, just above the end of the head section, you're going to see a couple of items here. Template begin editable for the head section, and template end editable that ends that section. And this is the area that you would put things like your SEO description meta tag and other specific things like scripts that might be specific to that particular page. But other than those two editable regions, we don't have any editable regions on this page. So there's none actually in the body section, and that's the area that the user actually sees. So right now, this template isn't very useful because we can't customize it at all. But what we want to do is we want to make this content area here an editable region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to the code section, and here is my content div. And everything in between here and this closing div is the material that we want to make editable on pages that use this template. So I need to insert a new editable region into this content area. So what I usually do is I just hit enter a few times and give myself some extra space in here, and then click right here. And then I'm going to go to the insert menu and select the template objects option. And you're going to see editable region right here. You'll select that, and then you're going to give your editable region a name. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and call it content. And you'll remember when we looked above, we had two editable regions. One was called head, and the first one was called doc title. This one, the name is going to be called content. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK there. And it may have bumped you up a little bit there. If so, just go ahead and click and hit enter a couple times. And it also put the word content in there. But you're going to see it created that beginning editable markup and the end editable markup. And again, we don't need this piece of content in here, so we can just delete that. But what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and cut it. Just a simple cut. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to paste that in. And again, if it messes up, and it will mess up your indentation, just go ahead and clean that up. And I'll go ahead and take those extra lines out of there. And there we go. So now everything that is inside of my content div will be editable when I go ahead and apply this template to a page. If this doesn't make perfect sense to you right now, don't worry about that at all. Once you see this once, this will begin to make a lot more sense to you. So this may be one of those videos that you end up watching 2 or 3 times. We have an editable region though now named content, and I'm going to go ahead and save my changes. So now I have a template that's ready to use. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to close those folders up here. I've got main and lorem here. We're not going to use those anymore. I may need main later, so I'm going to keep it. Lorem is just a utility file, so I'll leave that alone. But what I need to do now is I need to create the actual pages for my site. The index page, the about page, products page, services page, gallery, and contact page. So I'm going to right click up here and select new file. And it creates untitled.html for me. And I'm going to name that one index. And then I'm going to do the same thing and create an about page, a products page, a services page, my gallery page, and finally my contact page. So now I have all the pages created. But the pages, when I look at them, they're just blank pages. They actually do have some code inside of them though. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that and just delete it. Take all the code out of there. And then go to Modify, Template, Apply Template to Page. Select my main template. And now, when I look at this in design view, you can see the model, the template that I created has now been applied to this page. You're also going to notice that as I hover over the page, for instance in my top navigation or my logo, I get this cursor that it's a circle with the arrow in it, the no cursor. And that's because this is a template region. But when I come down here into my editable region, remember the content region we created? There's a little icon there for content. This area is editable. I can make changes. It's just I'm locked out of the template regions. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for my other pages. I'll go in here to About, delete everything that is there, then Modify, Templates, Apply Template to Page, select the template I wish to use, and then it puts all that code in there for me. And I'm going to go ahead and do Contact. Again, just highlight everything and delete it, then Modify, Templates, and Apply Template to Page. And then we'll do Gallery. Already did Index, so now I'll do Products. And again, I'm going to delete everything there and apply a template to the page. And you can see here, if I had several templates saved, I would be able to select any of those templates that I had. And then we'll do Services. And then I'm going to go to File and Save All to save all of my changes. So I've now very quickly, using that template and the prototype that we mocked up, have been able to create all the pages that I need for my template. And again, I can come into any one of these pages and edit the editable region here. For example, on the About page, I'm going to go ahead and type About Manchester Design. Contact page, I'll go ahead and type Contact Us. Whoops, that's the gallery page. And then we'll do the products page. And then we'll go ahead and do the services page. Oops. And then actually I'll go ahead and open up the About page, and yeah, it says Welcome to Manchester Design. So I'm sorry, the welcome page. So everything here looks like it's working at this point. But again, I can't make changes in these template regions. Those are locked. Even if I go into the code view here, you can see a lot of the code is grayed out here because it's a template region. Whatever is inside of an editable region, though, like the doc title or our head section here, we don't have anything in there yet, or our content region here, that is going to be editable. So what if I wanted to change one of those template areas? You know, for instance, what if instead of it saying sidebar heading here, I wanted to say something else? Very simple. I just go to the templates folder, open up the template that page uses, and now you can see I can make whatever changes I want. I'm going to highlight sidebar heading and just type in template change here. And when I save this, you're going to see I get a little dialog box here. It says update all the files based on this template, and it lists all the pages in your site that use this main.dwt file. I'm going to go ahead and click update and then close. And now when I go ahead and look at one of my pages, you can see template change is there. When I look at the About page, template change is there. Contact, template change. So by making that one change on my template, that change has been applied to all the different pages. So this is going to make updating our site a lot easier. For example, if I wanted to put the sliding banner in, which we're going to do, instead of having to go put the sliding banner on every single page individually, I just make that change to the template and it will apply that sliding banner to all of my pages. If I wanted to change my logo, instead of having to change every single page in my site individually, I just change the template and that change cascades to all of the other pages in my site. So that's basically how you set up and use templates inside of Dreamweaver. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and begin to add some of the cool features to our website. We're going to see how to do this sliding banner here. And I say sliding a lot because this tool is actually called a slider. Whether it fades or regardless of what it does, that's generally the name that's given to it. But we'll learn how to do this banner here. We'll see how to do the drop-down menus and how to add things like our Twitter feed and our share buttons down there at the bottom. So that's what we're going to go ahead and start in the next video. And actually, we're going to start off with placing this or creating this sliding banner, this rotating banner here. I'll see you in the next Dreamweaver tutorial.